Well, this is one of the most interesting, I think, and fruitful programs I've been involved in my whole teaching career. I do a lot of workshops around the country with pastors on the one hand or with musicians on the other. But the idea of pastors, musicians, artists, and even lay people with responsibilities in local congregations, that's the genius of this.
What I love about this conference is it uses a small number of congregations, almost always the chief minister and musician and another lay leader or artist, and that's what we've had this week. And these people prepare a project that they want to do in their congregations ahead of time.
And that's exactly what it's for, to bring teams here so that the problems that come up from their local community, their own time, their own place, their own context, really become the subject matter in some ways. And yet always with the arts involved.
Well, I did a workshop on recent hymns or new hymns in the past decade, which is always exciting to me because somehow congregations tend to feel that hymn writing ended probably somewhere in the early 20th century. So it's always exciting to present those texts and tunes to the participants in the congregation's project. Certainly throughout the week as I did those presentations, people were inspired by the text, but also I think challenged to think about ways that they can go back and use those texts and opportunities in their community.
I think the week unfolded for me in a multiplicity of ways, and it had to do a little bit with the different kinds of experiences that I helped to enable. So I did a workshop called Since You've Picked the Hymn, Now What? And we sort of talked about hymn performance. And then we did a hymn festival, and one of the interesting things one of the participants told me today was that she was so glad that the hymn festival came after we had had this workshop, because she said, we talked about things in the workshop and then you did them. And so all of a sudden I could experience them not theoretically, but actually doing it. And so that gave a whole different perspective to some of what you talked about.
People come prepared to the gills. I cannot believe how fabulously well prepared they are. And they make a major contribution in which they introduce themselves as a congregation, and then they make another major contribution, which is they present their project. And then the other congregations respond to them. So part of the brilliance, I think, of the design is it's not like I'm the expert because I'm the faculty member or any of the other faculty members are, although we are experts at many of the things we do. But the people are the experts, and they're helping each other. And that creates an immense synergy with all these people coming from different perspectives. And when they start responding to the projects, I just can't get over the wealth of wisdom that they have.
At the end of the week, people leave here inspired, they leave invigorated, challenged, and formed, I think, in a new way of thinking that they probably don't know, because there's so much going on, so many wonderful things that are happening in these sessions that you probably need just a week to sit down and just unpack all that you have and look at it. So it's kind of like coming down from the mountain and going back into the valley to really roll up your sleeves to begin the work of Christ.
When you think of the highest level of artistic things, this is on the ground. And so this is a meeting place for those of us who have a lot of intellectual resources, artistic resources, but we're really caring for what happens in local communities. Now that seems to me the very special character of this project.